guys, welcome back to Little Country Acres. This is a project that has plagued us for a long time. This little bitty water heater is 30 gallons. We have a garden tub in here, but also it's way at this end of the mobile home from the kitchen. We timed it this morning. It took 1 minute and 30 seconds to get 80-degree water to the kitchen, 1 minute and 45 seconds to get 100-degree temperatures. So this, with Yvette showers, Yvette takes long showers, this thing was not cutting it. She runs out, the garden tub is useless. So I created a little plan here. Also, if you'll notice, this is our walk-in closet. So this was all framed in, and you couldn't even get to this thing to check and see what they set the thermostat at. I imagine it's probably factory settings. So, and from the factory, they're very low. So what I did, this is not live. This is no longer hot. You can see I've terminated these connections right here. This water heater is no more. This thing's out of here today. We're gonna finish up these walls real nicely, and then I'm gonna build a nice complete closet. Carpet's gonna be brought in here, and it's gonna be so much better. But anyway, come take a look at why this is no longer going to be here. And it's no longer going to hog up the space inside our master closet where Yvette is sure to steal all the space. So
I'm sure.
So come check out what we've done. Water hose running through the floor. That's where I drained the water heater. This is, PVC fittings all over the place. I decided I wasn't going to use PVC fittings. I'm going to, I'm doing shark bite and PEX for everything. PEX going into polybutylene and PEX going into PVC. So what I'm going to do every time I do a plumbing repair, it's going to be done with a PEX conversion. So, and you'll see that electrical wire running out there. That is running to a dedicated breaker. Now that electrical is going to be cleaned up. It's going to have a wire ring around it where it's going to clamp the wire as well. And you can see we've got the PEX running out of that hole. That's going to be insulated, and we'll show you what we're doing here. So what I've done is I installed an 80-gallon water heater outside. I poured this pad just for it. I messed up because I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do at the time. So this is a 3x3 pad, 3 foot by 3 foot. This should have been removed, and this concrete should have ran all the way. Not going to be a big deal, but what I'm doing is I'm running tap cons through this. This was actually the form for it, but I decided to make the form permanent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame on top of this. I've got brackets that I'm going to leave this in. I'm going to tap con this all the way around, and then it's going to come up with T111 siding, and it's going to go straight to the mobile home with a slant roof. And I'll insulate it all. The water heater is operational now. It has been for 24 hours. Everything works great. I'm going to brace up all the lines, things like that. We bought this. This is an 80-gallon water heater. I bought it off the marketplace for $125 on a gamble. And just so you guys know, if a water heater is bad, there's only Three things that can go bad with it. It leaks. If it doesn't leak, it is absolutely repairable. Inside here, you've got a heating element and a thermostat. Same with right here, you have a heating element and a thermostat. You can change those out. Pop those screws out, of course, disconnect your power, but you take this off, and for 45 bucks, you get brand new heating elements, 2 new heating elements, and the thermostat. It's actually less than 45, but that's 45 with the tool to remove the thermostat. I did it on my son's because his water heater quit working, and so I just replaced both elements, both thermostats, flushed it, which you've got this right here. Just drain it, all the mineral content and stuff like that. It's gonna flush out. Get it good and clean. Empty it. Again, power supply off. Replace the heating element and the thermostat. It might be thermostat heating element. I forget which. I haven't been into this one yet, but it's nice and warm. We're getting 120 degree temperatures out of this water right now. I'm actually going to bump that up just a little bit because we do have a garden tub. But this right here is going to make this actually usable. And so I'll have a door right here for access. It'll be totally insulated. Slanted roof right here. And then a project that you guys are going to see, I've got a propane generator, 12,000 watt, and that's actually going to sit on a pad next to this. And so I'll build off of the side of this, and it's going to be slanted as well. We're moving the propane tank back here, and I'll just stub up with the propane, so that way our generator is constantly attached to the propane. I'm going to mount a solar charger for the generator's battery right on top of the slope roof right here because it faces the sun. Sun rises on the west or on the east over here, sets in the west, so it'll always have sun. Our battery will always be charged. So we're going to have water heater, generator, HVAC. And so it looks crazy and terrible right now. I know it does, but it's going to look good. It's going to work good. And it's out of sight, out of mind, and quiet back here. That's the thing that we're after. So, and again, this will be cleaned up. All this will be cleaned up. I just threw this together, with the PEX and everything. It's been running for 24 hours now, and it's going to work out really nicely. So, my goal for the next day and a half, I'm going to side this with T111 siding. It's wooden siding. I've got to get some kills on the T111, and I'm using kills. It's good for outdoors as well. Then I've got some storm grade paint. Storm grade, like that's a term. It's outdoor paint. They put storm grade on it like it's going to hold up to Hurricane Wilma or something. Sells for $1 more or something a gallon, maybe makes a little money. But anyway, I'm all for marketing. So this is going to tie in back to the mobile home and then slope off. And I'll have that all sealed up at the top. This thing will stay dry. It'll stay insulated. It's going to allow us to have nice hot water. And what I plan on doing is putting a hot water recirculator in here. Basically, it's going to mount right here, and this is just going to attach directly to it. Plug it into 110 volts, and then what it's going to do is it's going to keep hot water circulating throughout our all the hot water lines. If they drop below, I think it's either 95 or 100 degrees. I forget which one. Different models are different temperatures, but then even all the way on the other side of the mobile home, instead of Yvette waiting 1 minute and 45 seconds for hot water, she'll wait for 2.5 seconds, which is too long for Yvette. She's still going to complain.
Well,
because she had to wait for 2 seconds.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is it continuously runs. That's a lot of wasted water.
Well, they estimate between 12 to 15,000 gallons a year of water wasted if your water heater is on one side and then you're using your main sink on the other side. They estimate it's between 12 to 15,000 gallons a year. So that's water that we'll save. But also another thing is those pipes, when they get cold, okay, this is 80 gallons. Let's just say hypothetically, I'm just going to throw a random number out there, but let's just say that our water pipes hold, I don't know, 7 gallons of hot water. All right, well, by the time that you have to flush hot water through that and replace that cold water with hot water, not only did you waste all the water, but you lost 7 gallons of hot water just trying to heat up the cold pipes. So, let's just say it's 10 gallons. All right, well, so this is an 80 gallon that suddenly turns into a 70 gallon because we have to replace that 10 gallons of water. But if the water is already hot and this is 80 gallons and you got 10 gallons of already hot water in your supply system, then it turns into a 90 gallon. And the recovery time on this thing, I've already checked it. It's really good. It's about an hour. I can recover 80 gallons in an hour on this thing. So it made perfect sense to, and the guy I bought this from, he had, really, really nice home. He went with a tankless water heater system. Well, that's not feasible for us here. There were multiple reasons for me to not go tankless. I called and I had 2 plumbers out here. They were between $500 to $700 to change from that 30 gallon, which is just on the other side of this wall, mind you. It's right here. All the plumbing's right there. I ran the electrical and the fresh breaker myself. They wanted $500 to $700 to redo this, and I guarantee you that they were going to do it as fast as they could and get out of here. So don't be afraid to take it on yourself. This is shark bite fittings right here. This is PEX clamps, PEX hose. My cold water is blue. My hot water is red. I'll have all this supported and braced. And it's going to work like a champ. You want these flex lines in case this thing ever moves. We get some very strong winds out here. So if this moved even just a little bit and say it was pure PVC or something like that, well, then you can crack a line or something. And well, you've got 220 electricity right there. You don't want the water going right there. And so also what I'll do, because you have a pressure relief valve on top of the water heater, so I'm going to connect the hose right here. It'll run off, and then it's going to shoot out right here. Say it's pressure relief valve ever blue. Well, it's just gonna run right out. Never in my 21 years of being alive.
Sure.
Well, almost 22.
Right.
Never in my almost 22 years of being alive have I ever even heard of a pressure relief valve going off. So if that were to happen, I would imagine that's you had a thermostat that just wouldn't shut off and it just cooked the water. I don't know. If that's the case, man, bring some ramen out here. You got a meal.
Yum.
So anyway, this is our project, and what I'm going to work on now is getting the T111 siding primed and painted. Get this framed up, squared off through the mobile home. I'm going to have blocking on the inside from between the studs, so it'll attach good. It'll be nice and solid. This is all grounded. I'm going to pull this out, this electrical, And then it's going to have electrical ring right here with a clamp on it. So, you know, that's secure and it's not touching any sharp metal. I'm not worried about this right here because this is going to be insulation right in here. And that's going to be secured as well. So I just wanted to test the system out because we did buy this used. Like I said, 125 bucks. These tanks are like, they're $1,800 to, you know, to $3,000 if you want a 80 gallon. Anyway, this is our project. I've been looking forward to this. Works, you know, it works great, fantastic. If it didn't, I wasn't worried about it. It doesn't leak because, like I said, for 40 bucks, I can replace the thermostat and the heater on both of these for 40 bucks. Do it myself. As long as the water heater doesn't leak and it's electric, it's repairable. Gas, well, that's a different story. But if it's electric and if it's not leaking, it's repairable for 40 bucks. So don't let anybody tell you different. Don't let them try to sell you a new water heater. Pull that screw, water, you know, power off. Just pull these two screws. You'll see how easy it is to change the thermostats in these things and the heating elements. Pop them back in. Make sure your water is full because you're going to lose all your water. So you want to drain it first before you go pulling out the heating elements. Drain your, you know, cut your water off first. Drain the water and then replace the heating elements, thermostat, and then fill it back up, and then cut your power back on. You basically, I mean, it's not a brand new water heater, but you've rejuvenated your water heater to levels that it hasn't seen since it was brand new. So anyway, this is our project. So
Get started.
I'm gonna get after it and let you guys know how it comes out.